Hi everybody, welcome back on another technical demo around the Quarkus application. In this demo, I'm going to showcase one of the Quarkus Dev services, specifically how do you run Quarkus Dev service inside a container. Let me summarize what Quarkus Dev service is first, just in case nobody heard about that Quarkus Dev service before. When you run Quarkus demo, which allows you have live coding, but also you can have dev services based on test containers, which automatically stand up your relevant container image as long as you already have run in a runtime such as Podman, Docker on your local machine. So if you have some experience to run test container, you have to set up test container dependency on your Java project, for example, POM.XML on your Maven project. And then you're going to also add the required keys and values on your application properties for YAML files. For example, what is my database URL, or what is the username and password to access the database, which is running on container on your local machine. The Quarkus actually built in test container capability with the out-of-box features for developers. So you don't need to set up all test container capability or features and configuration on your local machine. It's literally zero configuration to stand up test container on your Quarkus demo. But sometimes you need to run Quarkus application in Cloud IDE, specifically running on pod on top of the Kubernetes. In this case, it's the architecture container in container, which it does not allow me to run Quarkus dev services. So you need to go back to develop your application with the traditional and all the practices. For example, you still used to like a H2 memory database rather than actual PostSQL database to develop your CRUD application. The test container and Quarkus dev services allows developer to avoid some technical gap between local and production environments. So let me give you some example. How do you keep using this fantastic Quarkus dev service inside the container as well? So here's a quick example of the architecture of this demo environment. I'm going to use OpenShift Developer Sandbox, which enable the developer to run Cloud IDE, which is OpenShift dev spaces based on VS Code. And then that Cloud IDE already built in Podman container runtime. You don't need to install any kind of container runtime inside the container. And then now I'm going to just create a new Quarkus application, which connect to my PostSQL database. When I run Quarkus demo, it will automatically start PostSQL container inside OpenShift dev space that is also container on top of the Kubernetes. Let's jump in the demo. Okay, let me go to my GitHub repository, and then you can see that github.com, Daniel030. And then I have a bunch of the repository. Just feel free fork and then just copy whatever you want if you replicate this technical demo on your local machine. Okay, so I'm going to change the movie directory, and then here is my dev service IDE, which is a Cloud IDE. And I go into this Git repo, you might see something different button enabled here, dev spaces, as long as you use install in the Chrome browser and the Firefox, the OpenShift dev space extension on your web browser, it automatically pop up when you go to GitHub repository, which allows you can go to Cloud IDE, which is by default OpenShift dev spaces. Also, you can set up any kind of OpenShift cluster, which you already install OpenShift dev space operator. It's pretty easy to go to and start up Cloud IDE rather than just copy this URL and then back to the Cloud IDE tool and import it. If you are more interested in how to set up the dev spaces on GitHub Pro, please find another video on my YouTube channel. Okay, when you click on dev space, you can find that OpenShift Developer Sandbox by default option, or you can configure your own OpenShift cluster. Then I click on that, and it's automatically start. In the meantime, let me go back to my GitHub repo and then take a look at the dev file. And then in order to enable to run Quarkus dev service, aka like a built-in test container, you need to use the kublock, one of the open source project, which allows me to run container inside the container. Very simple configuration here in environment variable, the dot enable true and the Docker host in the default like a local host. I'm going to disable some of the test container stuff to automatically terminate the existing container when you stop that mode. And I'm going to use a universal developer image. You can feel free fork my Git repo and then tweak whatever you want, and it's automatically start Quarkus step subject inside the container environment here. And I also added some command line, which is some wizard my VS Code inside the OpenShift dev spaces, which is running Quarkus dev service. I'm going to use some SDK man, which allows me to run OpenShift 17 as a default Java version. So when I logged in my dev services, it automatically start creating new workspace based on that repo. Now you can see that Quarkus dev services IDE already started. Now when I go to the pre-built applications, there's some RESTful API. One is the return like a text code hello from message reactive by default. And the other one is just retrieve some person data from my PostSQL database. Pretty simple. And then go to here's the Java entity, and you can see that just name and address. And then from Jakarta AE API core profile. Now go to application proper, you don't see anything because it's totally empty. This is the beauty of the Quarkus dev service. I already inserted some of the sample data based on name Dan from Boston, and then Jenny from New York City, and just from San. Okay, that's it. And I'm ready to start my Quarkus demo. I'm gonna can also open terminal window and then just Maven Quarkus dev, or you can use a pre-built wizard like a dev file, and then you can see that Java version 17. The first thing is it's a pretty new, great pretty new workspace because there are no M2 caches, so it's automatically start download the dependency first of all. Then let me try to using Podman here. If there's a running process here, there's nothing in there. And once the Quarkus demo is started, then you can just right there, new container image automatically pull, which is a PostSQL 14 from Docker Hub. Then back to another terminal, and then just run that Podman process again, and then you can get PostSQL 14 container image automatically started. This is just how dev services works and what that looks like, which is really cool. And let me try to call the one of the REST API, like localhost 8080 hello. It return hello from REST is reactive. Then let me try to run another one, a person, and then just make sure the REST API URL is person, and you can see that 3 data returned. So this is literally already stored in my PostSQL container, and then automatically insert it. So you can also add more dev services. For example, sometimes I need to secure my RESTful API because I need to only some of the permission people actually access some of the data rather than randomly access the data. In order to that, you can have like a single sign-on integration, OpenID Connect integration, which is one of the Quarkus extensions. So let me try to add OpenID Connect and a small right OpenAPI. It automatically restart Quarkus dev environment. So once you restart it, you can also find out which container actually running automatically based on Quarkus dev services. You can see that there are kickoff already started. Let me try to add one annotation to filter this REST API can be accessible by only admin permission, which is already defined in my keycloak server. And then here's admin. And then I'm going to try to access that hello, which is randomly access that back to the dashboard. And then you can see that hello from REST easy. And then we go to the person, and now you can see that it's a 411 unauthorized error because it's already accessible only admin users. If you access this RESTful API from now on, you can request token, and then you're gonna pass down access token to access RESTful API, just like the OpenID Connect Explorer. I'm not gonna go through the more detail here because you can find another my technical video around the Quarkus application, how to build and develop secure your application with the OpenID Connect and the single. All right, That's what I have today. If you stop Quarkus demo and then back to another terminal and then check the running process, you can see that all running process automatically terminated and deleted. Whenever you stop Quarkus demo, it automatically stop all dev services, which is one of the good feature of dev services developer and productivity. Thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe my channel and find more technical and insightful running path.